Bitcoin is going down to $14,000. That is a sentiment that we are increasingly hearing being echoed across social media. So in this video, I want to take a look at what people are saying and why they're saying that. What are the indicators, the patterns, and the price targets that people are looking at in this situation, as well as talking about, well, some of the macro dysfunction that could lead markets lower and fulfill this prophecy. My name's Lark. I make videos on investing. If you like that topic, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We'll tap on the thumbs up button there if you do appreciate this kind of content. Now let's go ahead and get into it. So let's start our conversation here. We're talking about the S&P 500. Nice little green bounce up here today, bringing the S&P 500 just above a critical area of price support at 3630. Of course, Bitcoin coming right up along with that, targeting once again the 50-day exponential moving average, that area that has been price resistance for a while here now for Bitcoin. See if we even get up that high before, well, moving back into the range. Basically, it's all we've been doing, range and sideways for Bitcoin. So not a whole lot going on in the markets here. A little glimmer of hope in the stock markets. We do have a lot of macro crazy continuing to weigh heavy on the markets. China, for example, halting resales of Russian liquefied natural gas to European buyers, which had been a funny situation anyway. You know, the Europeans kind of pulled out to an extent of Russian energy, right? And so China started buying discounted Russian energy and then shipping it all the way around the world to sell it to the Europeans at a markup. Well, that's not going to go on anymore. China's state-owned energy giants have been told by authorities to stop reselling liquefied natural gas. That could be a bit of a hit for Europe as it goes into this winter, with supplies not looking the best, with a lot of concerns about what's going to happen to European industry over the winter, what's going to happen to, well, European people over the winter, as some countries may be looking at either shortfalls or just further increases in the prices of energy, which could cause global turmoil in markets. More uncertainty, more fear, basically, is what we're seeing right now. Now, I saw this here. The median bear market with recession dating back to 1929 has fallen by 39%. This is from the Kubisi letter. Furthermore, the median bear market with a recession lasts 16 months. We're currently only 10 months in, and the S&P 500 is down just 28%. History continues to suggest that more pain is ahead of us. So if we were to just fall in line with the median bear market, we have another 11% down for the S&P 500, right? Remember, lots of macro crazy going on. We've talked at great length about all the crazy stuff happening in the global economy in videos over the last few months here. A lot of that stuff is still affecting markets. So in terms of time, we are still, away from the average time of a bear market, as well as the average fall of a bear market. We continue to see major analysts saying that yes, further stock price declines are certainly possible, from JP Morgan to Fidelity to, well, the IMF now coming out. And look, a lot of these institutions, you cannot trust them, right? Can't trust JP Morgan as far as you can throw them, right? And they're a big institution, you can't throw them very far, right? IMF, the International Mafia Fund, they're like gangsters, these guys. So you got to take what they say with a grain of salt, to be fair. However, we are seeing an increasing amount of voices calling for this. The sentiment in the market is calling for this further 15 to 20% drop in the price of stocks. Raoul Pal did a quick check over here on Twitter asking about, well, what do you think? Is the S&P 500 going to be 15% lower in 3 to 6 months? Most people said yes. He said, do you think Bitcoin and Ethereum will make new cycle lows in the next 3 to 6 months? Most people said yes. Do you think the world economy is totally effed up in the next 2 years from Russia, China, commodities, dollar wrecking ball, rates, inflation, ESG policies, etc.? And people said yes. People are overwhelmingly bearish right here. Everyone is expecting further downside in the markets. Now, is the contrarian trade then the thing to take into account here? Everybody's expecting lower, so maybe we're going to go higher. I think until we get a Fed pivot, though, that seems to be an unlikely scenario without a doubt. But hey, guys, don't worry. Kanye West showed up somewhere today wearing a Satoshi Nakamoto hat. So everything's going to be fine. Right? Right, guys? Ay, ay, ay. Now, before we get into the Bitcoin charts, just a reminder, if you don't have an account yet over on Bybit, you have got to get yourself an account. It is the best place for longing and shorting Bitcoin, Ethereum, all of the top coins in the market. 0% fees on their spot markets, 0% market maker fees for futures. And if you use that link down below in the description, you can get up to $4,450 in exclusive deposit bonuses. So check it out if you are a trader. Now, let's talk about this situation here with Bitcoin. So this is the 3-day charts here. Zooming out to the 3 days, just give us a bit more perspective here. Now on the 3-day charts, this is 2018. Back in 2018, we had this big descending triangle, right? Where we had these multiple tests, this area of price support around $6,000. We had this RSI uptrend, which ended up breaking right here. And then, of course, we had this devastating 50% crash where price went from $6,000 all the way down to $3,220. A lot of people right now are saying that, hey, look, 20K is the new 6K. We are on the verge of a massive collapse here for the cryptocurrency markets, where we could see valuations coming down by another 50% for Bitcoin and Ethereum, which means probably another 90% for most of your altcoins. Look at the charts right now, you can see the pattern shaping up for Bitcoin. Very, very similar, right? We have a big descending triangle right here. We have an RSI uptrend, which is still intact at this time, but we'd watch for a breakdown of that RSI uptrend to indicate that, well, we maybe are heading in such a situation. Maybe we are going to head in that direction where we have a massive, brutal, cratering sell-off due to the macro conditions in the global markets right now. So this is something, this pattern, the potential for this pattern to repeat is definitely something that is worrying people right now in the markets. And look, I would just like to say, history does not repeat, it does often rhyme. That being said, just because this is what happened in 2018 is not necessarily what's going to happen. But we do remain in a very risky market right now. The market is without a doubt full of uncertainty, and seeing lower price targets come in, not off the table still for Bitcoin, especially if all the analysts calling for a further 20% decline in stocks end up being proven right, we will see Bitcoin come down significantly in that situation. I don't see how we're going to see Bitcoin maintain its price levels if we see a massive sell-off in the stock markets to that kind of magnitude. It would be painful. Now, a lot of people, so this is a highly scientific poll I did over here on Twitter for you. A lot of people are saying that 20K is the new 6K for Bitcoin, meaning that farther 50% drop could come in for BTC. So what most people think right now, we have a very divided community, right? Some people still think, 1 in 5 people think that we are still going to see a $10,000 Bitcoin before all is said and done. A quarter of people looking at a $14,000 Bitcoin as being the bottom. We're going to talk about that price target here in a moment. 28% think $17,600 was the bottom. We're not going to see any further lows throughout this bear market, right? The low's already in. Now we're just going to go through this bear market accumulation phase, trend sideways for a while before we eventually start ticking up. And of course, the right answer, don't care, stacking sats, rain or shine, just keep on buying that Bitcoin. Now, if we have a look here at, this is the monthly chart, by the way. If we have a look here, this gives us a good idea of why 14K is a number that a lot of people keep bringing up. See, the implication from that 2018 pattern, if it were to repeat as such, would be a 50% breakdown, which actually brings us down to 10K, which is actually the bottom orange line on the chart here. And look, we can see 10K has been a very, very important price area here for Bitcoin. It acted as support here in September 2020, multiple areas of resistance right throughout 2020 and 2019, areas of resistance again in 2018, areas of support in 2018, areas of resistance in 2017. Like 10K is a pretty damn important level, right? However, 14K is realistically the more important level looking down, right? Because 14K was the bear market rally top in June 2019. And it was also where the monthly candles closed, the bodies closed of these candles in December 2017 and in January 2018. Well, where it started out at, but where the close came in for the basically the 2017 bull market candle close was right around the 14K area as well. So if we do see further downside, if the stock markets do fall to pieces, then 14K I think is probably the most likely target area for a downfall in the price of Bitcoin. And that depends on a lot of factors, a lot of things to continue going wrong, right? And for the market to continue reacting very emotionally to this. See, a lot of this stuff is already to some extent priced in, or markets are expecting all of this crazy to continue happening, which means that it may not affect markets that harshly until something breaks. If Credit Suisse breaks, or Deutsche Bank breaks, or the UK pension funds go bankrupt, or the bond markets break even more, any of this stuff can cause a cascading event of liquidations and just panic across markets. That's the kind of situation that will bring markets crashing down. So we have to keep in mind that this stuff is possible in markets right now, and to not have our rose-tinted glasses on here in terms of looking at the markets and just wanting the best to happen, but ignoring the very real risks that are in the markets right now. Now look, I continue buying Bitcoin every single week right now. All this crazy going on, it's important to talk about, it's important to understand, so we're prepared for these eventualities, even if they are the most likely or not the most likely scenarios to play out. But I'm curious to hear from you. What do you think? $14,000 Bitcoin, is it coming to a portfolio near you? Or is it too bearish? Are you in the camp of 17,200 that was it? That was the bottom. We're not going any lower than that in this bear market. Let me know down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and peace out till next time.